so then you start. Did you start Lone Jett first or Blondage? How'd that come about?
This is a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
So I, years ago, was asked to dress up as Joan Jett as a shtick for my company that I worked for and come out and sing about 3 or 4 songs just to canned music, like come out and just, And so I'm like, absolutely. They loved it. And I was in full garb, except for the tattoos. I didn't have that yet. And so I came out there, and I have a picture in my entryway of me kind of my signature Joan Jett, Lone Jett, if you want to say, where I'm kind of squatted down pointing, like, right at the camera. Quick picture. Only picture of that night of me dressed up other than whatever people got. And that picture, fast forward, I did my album, and I met Troy Schuster, who is another drummer in Kansas City. Amazing. He drums for Cast of Joy. He drums for Big Time Grain Company. He's done, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But he met me, and we just hit it off immediately. And I was jokingly, when he was working on my album release party, we were rehearsing one night, and I sent him, I said, I make a mean Joan Jett. I should probably, and I think I brought your name up actually at that point.
Who wouldn't in that context?
And so I said, let me send you this picture real quick. And I sent it to him. And he was like, oh my gosh, you make it great. But he goes, you look a little more like Nikki Sixx. He goes, you look more like Nikki Sixx. And I was like, I do. I did in that picture. I was like, yeah, it's hilarious. So we just joked about it. Fast forward then, I think it was the summer after. So summer of.
Well, that was 2021.
In late June, right after my release party, I get this text from Troy, and he says, hey, I've got an agent out in St. Louis who's looking for a Joan Jett tribute. Are you interested? And I was like, really? What for? He goes, they will be your backing band. They're doing the tour that never happened. I go, what are you talking about? They said, well, Sturgis is opening up in August, and Full Throttle Saloon wants to have the tour that would have happened, but the tribute tour of Motley Crue, Poison, of course, Joan Jett opening, and then with Def Leppard. And he said, they just need a Joan. They have everything it set, and they can't find a Joan Jett. And he goes, can I give him your number? And I said, yes. And so
Fuck yeah.
The next thing I know, I get this call, and this guy says, okay, here's the deal. We can be your backing band. He goes, we're going to have the Def Leppard group be your backing band. You get 1 day in St. Louis to basically get 12 songs down. Mm-hmm. And then we're hitting the road in August for Sturgis.
Enter stage, right? Johnny Cruz.
Johnny Cruz. So Johnny is so then I'm on the phone with Johnny not long after that, and we're setting up, and we talked for over an hour. He and I just were like kindred spirits in a way, because he's sitting there he almost feels like he almost is like a Jerry Baton to me.
Yeah.
It was a very similar situation. Not the same, different.
I see where you're going, because I've met him and got, but I always feel like people like that. They're very gregarious. They make you feel like
you can do anything.
They make you feel like you can do anything. They make you feel like you're cool. They make you. They put you at ease. They lift you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that no matter what, they're going to totally have your back. You just get that immediate feeling. And I got that with Johnny. Johnny he's a really good person. And so immediately we hit it off. And there's a few bumps and things like that just with everything. So it was 2 Kansas City bands coming in with 1 St. Louis band. And then you have this girl. Who's this girl? This little blonde. And I don't look anything like Joan Jett until I get dressed up. Then it's like I'm on, right? So it was quite interesting. But we get out there, and actually it was great, because I thought, who am I going to go with? I don't really want to ride in the buses with these guys. I don't know everybody. I didn't know everybody. And so I was a little bit hesitant, and sure enough, my good friend Crystal writes, it was like, sure. I want to ride my Harley to Sturgis.
Nice.
So I can totally go, and we'll do like a glam tent. I'm like, perfect. So I had a riding buddy. I drove, she rode her bike, and it kind of hit some boxes for her. And she's always wanted to ride there on her own, and she did it, and she was amazing. And so it was good to have my female camaraderie with me, comrade, I should say. And it was great, and we had a great time. I literally had 1 day in St. Louis to rehearse, though, before we went. And it was great. But here's the thing that's funny is I played acoustic, basically open chords prior to that. Never had touched electric guitar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Hey.
And I had to have an electric guitar.
Right.
I didn't have time to learn how to do power chords and how to to do all these songs, let alone I was already trying to figure out lyrics, right? So I ended up getting a custom made Joan Jett.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Les Paul.
Submerge
It's
yourself
a Les
in- oh,
Paul that
Jesus.
I had cut. I had it custom cut into a Les Paul Jr. And then they it's awesome. I still use
Wow.
it in all my stuff today, but it did not, I had a fake pack that made it look like it was electric at the time. Just for that Sturgis
Sure.
show. Because I thought this was
They don't care.
I thought one and done. I thought I'm going to do this and I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
We went up there, had a great time. 2 months later, people are asking me, "Are you going to do a tribute?" And I'm like, I don't have time for that. And then I got a text, this long text from Scott Eldridge, which I hadn't even met. He's a drummer for Fast Times and for Vigil Annie. And he was like, "Hey, if you ever are looking for a drummer to do this tribute, he goes, I'm your guy. I love it. And I have a trailer and I have everything we need. I have a rehearsal spot. And when you have someone telling you this and you're going, check.
Right. Just set up for you.
Yeah. And I went, thank you. Good information to know. Well, then within a week, my brain was just going and I had all these ideas. And so that's when I called Bruce. I got Bruce Haley on. And then, of course, my guitar player for Superstar Mafia, Joseph, he was all on board. So between the four of them, I knew those personalities would go well together. And it did, and has been great. So from there, you're not going to believe this one. So I
believe it.
Okay, we just do this in Sturgis. I get the band together in October. We start rehearsing in November. And I get this call from Johnny Cruz, and he says, "Hey, how would you like to open for Vixen at Diamond Music Hall?"
Oh, there you go.
And I went, "Are you kidding me?"
Diamond Ballroom in Oklahoma?
No, in St. Louis. It's he owns it.
It's a suburb of St. Louis.
You guys would know that, not me.
And I sit there and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And he goes, "No." He goes, Wouldn't it be great?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, are you in? Will you guys be ready by then?" I'm like, "Yes, we'll be ready by then." So I have now 4 months to learn all my power
No
chords
problem
and figure
for
out.
you. Easy.
So I dove into
Easy.
electric guitar. I dove into it and I did not stop. I mean, my fingers hurt so bad. I didn't know. I was doing the whole grip. There's a grip thing you can do for guitar.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know? So I'm doing the grip every
Springs,
day,
yeah.
springs, just trying to get the strength. And I learned all my songs and I still play. Yeah. I just had another rehearsal Sunday. It's amazing how much
great.
I've come along in just 2 years.
Well, you're amazing. So there you go.
Well, thanks.
You're
Jan.
welcome.
Funniest thing about this though is so I know who's connected to Vixen, right?
Tyson.
Yeah,
Tyson.
Tyson Leslie.
Right.
Sure.
But I
Still.
know, but I didn't just run off and go, "Hey Tyson, guess what?" I just kept it quiet. So all of a sudden I get this text about 2 months before the gig, and he goes, "Deann, what the hell? You're gonna be opening for Vixen?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I didn't even know that." He goes, "You knew more about this than I did." He goes, "And I play with that band."
Right.
He just got his go sheet type thing and said, "Oh, St. Louis and openers are, Lone Jett and the Broken Hearts, Kansas City." And he was just like, I couldn't believe it. And I said, "Everyone's going to think that you got me that gig." Everybody. And he goes, "Oh," and he goes,
No. Maybe everybody, but I knowing that Johnny kind of books,
right.
yeah.
But now the story's out. So
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
But that's how that whole thing rolled out.